at myself. To David's point, again, it's important to have this student voice. And I am just so happy to share, one of the most compelling student voices I have ever known in my 7 years that I've been here at USC will be sharing his remarks in the next few minutes. His name is Princeton Parker. He's also a student leader. I've just been so happy to share some of these students that I've known with you today in terms of how we change this dialogue about African American excellence in higher education in selective universities, because they are exactly that. Princeton Parker is a USC student, obviously. He is a BAA scholar, as are all of these students that you just saw, students that we support with scholarships from the USC BAA. And he is, importantly, a graduating senior, Princeton Parker.
Let me first of all extend my sincerest appreciation and honor to Dr. Michelle Turner for this awesome opportunity. I count this both a privilege and an immense pleasure to be able to lend my voice to this conversation today. My subsequent words would be submitted in vain if I don't first follow the pattern of Mr. David Jones to say thank you. I offer my thanks from a slightly different perspective, and that, as Dr. Turner mentioned, I am a Black graduating senior from the University of Southern California. Having majored in communication and minored in organizational leadership and management, I stand as but one example. You saw the others that are represented today. I stand as one example of the possibility and the propensity of young Black students and leaders to make differences and achieve at higher levels of institutions across this country. We can do it, and we are examples of that. So I thank you for how you've been dedicated to creating opportunities in education for us. I come not to talk stats. I didn't come with numbers. I don't have research for you. I don't come with more so solutions for how we get to the next level, for how we make it better for students of color in higher institutions. I come to talk purpose, because we gathered under the impetus of a problem. We gathered under the notion that there are circumstances that we're up against that we have to rectify. And if we are standing up against a problem, sometimes you wonder why you should care when it seems like the problem is getting bigger than the solution. So I've come to speak to every parent, to every administrator, to every student, to every educator. Why should the conversation continue? Why should we continue to fight harder than we've ever fought in our lives? Why is this day important, particularly during Black History Month? Why should an event about education kick off our celebration of our rich and robust legacy in this particular year and in this month? Why? Because there is something so very critical at stake. And what's at stake is more than money. What's at stake is more than opportunity. What's at stake is more than degrees. What's at stake is more than growing Black alumni associations. What's at stake is more than jobs. What's at stake is more than families. I come to submit to you this afternoon that what's at stake is our freedom. I'd like to posit to you that to be educated is to be free. Every generation redefines what freedom means. And for many of us, freedom is based off of whatever our parents had. So if we simply get more than what they had, we like to consider ourselves free. But it is so easy for us to become complacent in getting a little more and not understand that we have not attained as much as we possibly can because we don't know that there is more. To be educated is to be free. The amalgamation of rights is not freedom. Because if we ignorantly exercise our rights, then we can unknowingly re-enslave ourselves. To have a platform is not freedom. Because there are many of our most famed entertainers who, under the increasing glare of the spotlight, have a huge platform, but once they get to a new plateau of stardom, they choose to adapt a post-racial or colorblind lens. denying the legacy and the DNA of blackness that helped make them who they are. And when you have to disrobe your garment of blackness to appear more noble, to appear more American, to appear more global, I'm afraid you, my friend, are not free. To have connections is not freedom. Because if you are not aware of the company that you keep, then your connections will abuse you instead of empowering you. To have money is not freedom. Because if you are economically sound, but you have not passed the wealth or the process to attaining and sustaining wealth to the members of your family and community, then I must submit to you that you are not free. We are free when we are educated. And I'd also like to submit with that information in mind that long before the media outlets said we were free, long before Juneteenth, long before legislation said we were free, long before we were able to dance about declaring our freedom, we were free the moment that we started being educated and educating ourselves. That's why Harriet Tubman says that I would have been able to free so many more slaves if they had only known they were free, because she understood that the most devastating chains are not those that go about the wrist, but rather those that circumference the mind. So we become free through education. That's why our most brilliant minds and our most brilliant revolutionaries and world changers were free and were able to free others, because they were free in the mind. Before Dr. King is a preacher, before he is a writer, before he is a man of political thought, he's a thinker. Before Malcolm X is a revolutionary, he's a thinker. Huey P. Newton, a thinker. W.E.B. Booker T, Carter G. Woodson, thinkers. Before Mae Jemison is a scientist, she is a thinker. And that is to be free. To be free is to be able to know who you are. To be free is to know what opportunities are available to you and what it takes to access those opportunities. To be free is to know from whence you've come and use that as something to establish the trajectory of your future. To be free is to keep silence in moments of ignorance so that you can garner wisdom for the moment when you choose to speak. To be free is to access enough education and knowledge so that when you do speak, it's with power, and when you do open up your mouth, to be free is to not let anybody make you shut up. To be free is to walk on this campus and know that no matter how many of you there are here, or no matter how bad or how uncomfortable your professor makes you feel, other students make you feel, the system makes you feel, to be free is to know that you belong here. To be free is not just to get an education for you. To be free is to be able to get the diploma and go right back to your church, right back to your cousins, right back to your project, right back to your families, and let them know that I'm not uniquely special. You can do the same thing I've done. And if I graduated, not just what I've done is able and accessible to you, but beyond what I've achieved. To be free is to not be complacent. To be free is to say, what else is there? To be free is to continue conversations like this. To be free is to expand your mind. To be free is to be self-aware, to know who you are and how you contribute to the environment around you. But most importantly, to be free is not to know. To be free is to affect change with what you know. As I close this afternoon, every black student you see on campus today is one who understands that we're not here in search of riches, powers, or privilege. We're here for our freedom. That's how we stay dedicated to a cause that often seems too big to overcome. That's how we keep the conversation going. That's how we continue to find new avenues to create change. That's how we remain invested. That's how you listen more than you speak. That's how you become re-engaged with the students. The reason why we are here, that's how we accomplish what Mr. David was talking about. That's how we accomplish what every panelist has spoke about, by understanding why we're really here. I just came to encourage you to say, don't give up. Don't stop. Don't stop your conversation. Don't stop your ideation. Don't stop your vision. Don't stop your dream. Don't stop whether you're studying in the book stacks or whether you are standing in the boardroom making policy and legislation. Don't stop, because when we stand and continue to fight, that is when we embrace true freedom by activating the power of education. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Continue to fight.
Got to have a minute on that one.